Welcome back to 365 Unlimited. We are back with another interview. As you could tell, we are sitting with the one and only Lia Cruz. We are very excited to sit down and hear her story as she's a female in sports, and we're excited to be able to hear her from a different perspective. We haven't been able to do a lot of female interviews as of lately, and to get back involved with them, it's going to be special. We're excited for that. But before we get into this one, make sure to continue to like, view, and subscribe everything on our channel. We appreciate the consistent feedback, the questions, everything that we get about our channel. We love it. We appreciate it. Also, check out our three sponsors: Driftless Quality Wear, Bacher Auto Group, and Not Vintage. That is KNOT Vintage. You can also use the code 365U for 10% off at the checkout. That is store wide for any t-shirt that you can think of. All right, Gannon.
Yeah, so kind of the first question we always do to get it started here is kind of who Leah is, kind of tell everybody who the viewers are, kind of on and off the field. And before we dive into some more football questions, just kind of let everybody know who you are.
I'm Lia Cruz. I live in Cali. I'm a senior in high school, and I also live in Mexico.
Awesome, awesome. So growing up, were sports always kind of a passion that you had growing up, or how did you kind of get involved uh, in sports, I guess?
I've always played sports and like do different stuff, but I started playing flag football when I was 9 years old. And before that, I did basketball, volleyball, like all kinds of stuff, but nothing like really interested me like football did. I think it was like so interesting because I started playing with boys. So like I always wanted to be better than them. So if I compare that to sports where I only played with girls, it was like all the same. Like I was always the one who like all of the girls are like, oh, I don't want to hit myself. I don't want to get dirty. And like I was the kind of girl that didn't care about that. So it wasn't like the same intensity in the team or whatever. But with boys, like I always try to be better and try to learn new stuff and compete with them. So yeah.
No, that's awesome. That's a cool tidbit right there. One of the first things when we first, kind of got this interview figured out and lined up, go to social medias, and then I saw your college offers that you currently have, and with them being NAIA schools, I'm currently an NAIA baseball player myself, so it was kind of cool seeing some of those. Just kind of talk about some of that with kind of the recruiting and kind of how that's picked up, and just your experience now being your senior year because you haven't committed yet currently, correct?
Mhm.
So as you're going through that process, kind of talk about that and just picking up offers because you definitely have a nice little choice of offers to choose from.
Yeah. I started receiving offers last year, I think. It wasn't like really official offers, but like I talked to coaches and they wanted me to visit the schools, but I never could because there wasn't like a chance where I went to the place, and I didn't want to just go visit. I wanted to like go visit several schools like in the same state. So my first visits I did it this month. I went to Florida. I went to 4 schools over there. And since I want to go to Florida, it was like I had a really good experience and I liked them a lot.
Awesome. So kind of growing up and getting involved in the flag football arena of sports. How would you say, like you mentioned that when you looked at playing with boys, you wanted to be better than them. How do you think you developed that attitude growing up into the ranks of flag football? How do you think you kind of got that mentality?
Because I don't know, I've always got along better with the boys than I do with girls. So I feel like when I started playing flag football, I I knew nothing. Like I didn't know how to throw a football. I didn't know how to run routes. And I feel like learning from the boys made me so much better because like a boy always knows like how to play football, how to run. Like so I since I learned from someone that already knows, I feel like that helped a lot.
Talking about that you lived in Mexico and also California, I saw that you were at the NFL Mexico game kind of this last fall. Kind of talk about that experience. That had to be awesome. That just had
Yeah.
to be the vibe looked insane watching it through my television. But kind of talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, it was really cool. Actually, it wasn't even planned. I went to Mexico City because I had a tournament and I was like in a team from my state in Mexico. So one of the I don't know if you know, but there's like this group that's called El Snap NFL, and I talked to them and they invited me to the Rams kickoff. And she saw that I was in Mexico City and she texted me and she was like, "Are you gonna be here for the game?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." And then she was like, "Oh, do you want to come?" And I was like, "Well, yes," but I was gonna fly back that same day, so I wasn't gonna be able to go. So I changed my flight. I and we and we got this nice hotel like near the stadium. It was so cool. And we got like the I don't know if it was VIP or something, but we got in the field before the game started and I was with the players and it was so fun. It was such a cool experience.
That had to be an awesome experience. I love that the NFL is doing more and more things like that with international games. I think it's awesome to kind of just spread the message of football, spread the message of fandom and just community all together around the world. I think it's special. But I want to bring it up. So I don't know how exactly long ago it was, but you kind of had like a viral moment with the video that kind of went viral. So kind of talk about that experience, what it was like for that video to blow up and surface and kind of how it affected you from all angles, like emotionally and just everything that went through your mind during that time.
Yeah, that was like almost 3 years ago. It was on March 2020. And it was just like so unexpected. It was at a tournament that it wasn't that big. Like we never thought that it was gonna go viral. And it was like and when I did that play, it was just another touchdown. Like it wasn't that special. But the next day, the cameraman he posted the video and it started like blowing up and getting a lot of views and likes and my Instagram went like uh I got a lot of followers from that. He's a really good photographer.
Awesome.
That's sick. Um, just back in 2021, the NAI kind of started the flag football, and then also just other people. The NCAA has now picked up women's wrestling. There's just not a lot of women's emergence now with sports, which is just really cool to see. You know, kind of you being a person that's kind of paving the way, you know, for more people down the road here, for other young females down the way to play sports, you know, really whatever they want to do and put their mind to. Just kind of talk about that and, you know, kind of being a little public figure for this, what you are, is kind of a cool thing, stepping stone to, you know, have this on your shoulders a little bit. But just speak on that, the evolution really of women's sports as a whole.
Um, I feel like since it's just starting, there's not a lot of big schools that like have the sport and that are giving scholarship because most of the school have flag football, but like not much they give scholarships. I feel like there's only like 20 schools that give scholarships. I'm not sure, but I this is like growing really fast. It's been like 2 years and like a
Hmm.
lot of people already know about like flag football and they want to start playing. I live in Cali and there's not a lot of schools that I don't think there's a school that gives scholarships over here. Like all of the schools are like Florida, Kansas, like there's nothing near me. And I feel like anytime soon they're gonna start like having flag football over here. And that's and I hope so because I don't know. I wanna go somewhere else, but I don't wanna go too far from home. So that would be awesome.
I feel you on that. I know growing up, like Gannon and myself both have already made the college decisions and are entering the end of our college life. So if there's any advice that we can give you, definitely make sure when you're going on a college visit, like you have that at home feeling where you're
Yeah.
comfortable and you enjoy it. But to speak kind of to piggyback off of Gannon's question, with just women in sports, what kind of impact do you want to have for women in the future that are to come? So there's a fifth grade girl out there right now, or even younger, that looks up to you. What kind of impact do you want to have on that girl?
I wanna be a role model for young girls. like I feel like like a lot of girls already follow me and they text me and they're like asking me for advices, and sometimes I don't even know what to say because I'm also like learning. I'm so young, and I also have role models, but like when I grow up, I want them to say like, oh, I wanna be like her, or like, oh, I wanna do what she's doing. So sometimes it's hard because I have to like be careful with the things I do and what I say and like everything, but it's like something that I have to learn how to deal with it.
Well, that's cool though, and you're learning as you're going. That's part of growing up, which is the cool part because you're gonna learn. You're gonna make mistakes every day. We all do. It's just kind of how you bounce back, and that's the cool part about it because then you get to see yourself, kind of grow through those moments. But obviously, you've traveled all across the country, the world, whatever, to play the flag football. To just travel. Just name a couple places that's been your favorite place to travel to play. Some atmospheres, just cultures, some different type of places you like.
Mm, I love going to Florida. I love Florida. I went to Amsterdam like 5 years ago.
Mm.
And I was very young, so I couldn't like do much, but it was like it's like a really cool place to be. There's like a lot of people riding bicycles, like there's a lot of nature. I love it. And also, I don't know. I like Texas, but like uh I
You
think
can't
Florida.
argue Florida. You can't argue
Yeah,
that. So.
100%.
But no, yeah,
100%.
I'm gonna have to ask you some questions. So I'm going to Amsterdam this summer actually, so I'll have to hit you up about some tourist questions.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's awesome. I mean, I know that like traveling in general, just on top of doing it for sports and even if you're not doing it for sports, just
Just
being
seeing
a
so much.
seeing new parts of the world, it's a special feeling being able to see different people, the way different cultures are. It's unique. It's diverse.
Hmm.
It's awesome. But I want to ask you, what do you think sports in general have done for you? How do you feel like? What are some life lessons in a sense that you feel like you've learned from sports?
Mm, I feel like I have sports have taught me to be a better person and like to learn how to do teamwork. Because when I was younger, I got like so stressed when my teammates didn't do like what they had to do. And that's something that I've had to learn because I have to worry about my like if I'm playing QB, I have to worry about being QB. Like I don't have to worry about like my receiver. If she doesn't run her route, that's not my problem. Like I can do nothing for that. And that's what I've learned. And also that I've learned to like to how can I say it? Like to help my teammates, to pick them up like when they mess up or when they like need help with something. Like I have to be there and I have to be a good teammate. And since I've played QB for a long time, I've had to learn how to be a leader because like all of my team are gonna follow me and they're gonna expect me to be like to be the one that's motivating all of them and to like learn how to manage the situations that um like we're going to go through in a game or like practice. So that's something that I have been learning and that I'm still working on it.
That's awesome. Kind of going through your senior year now with the recruiting process. What are just some of the things, specifically talking to coaches, some things you've picked up on that you really, that you think are might be a deal breaker? Not specifically, but just something that you've liked that you've heard from coaches in some of your discussions. That you maybe are looking forward to at the next level.
Mm, I talked to a coach and what was like very like it was like different from other coaches. It was that he cares a lot about the academic like stuff.
Mm.
Like when I go into college and I'm gonna be a freshman, he's gonna do like notebook checks like every week. And that's something that coaches do. Like sometimes you're just in the team and you have to go to class or whatever and you have to like worry about your stuff. But like on that specific school, that coach is like will be calling you or like be calling your teacher to see if you're in class, and that's something like I never skip school, but like it is like important that the coach worries about that too.
No,
That's
that's one right before Bryce asked the question. I know that's big because we have that here. We have grade checks. If you're struggling in a class, you have to go meet with our coaches weekly and just all that type of stuff. If you skip class, you have to run. You have to do different types of things. It's not every program has to do that. It's if the coaches care enough for the kids and want them to graduate and get out of here on their 4-year plan. Because I know Bryce and I have seen it with friends and other people in other college programs that that's not as a parent, which is sad to see because it's just not the sports on the field. It's pretty much everything as a whole. But that's a big point, and that's awesome to hear that coach is taking the time out of his day for it.
Yeah, and I wanted to throw in there as well. Gannon and I had an interview a couple weeks ago. I think you're literally the second athlete that we've interviewed that have mentioned the word grades. So I think that speaks to your character, speaks to the perspective that you look at not only football, not only sports, but the school aspect of it as well. And that's very important for younger athletes to kind of catch that note that yes, you could be ultra talented and you can have offers to go play places, but if you don't have the grades and you're not one to kind of dig into the books and you don't have that attitude, then I honestly feel like a lot of that leaks onto the field. It leaks into the sports world with the discipline aspect of it. But yeah, like you're pretty much the second athlete that said that. But that's awesome. And now I want to ask you. So like, obviously, growing up, playing the sport, starting to receive offers, traveling to play. What does a typical day look like for you when you're training? How do you go about training to be at the highest level and enter that peak performance?
Um, it has been hard because here in my city, there's not a lot of like teams where I can like practice. So I have to be like if I would like to find a coach, like there's no coaches here. Like I would have to cross the border every day and like pay a lot for them to coach me. So it has been like something difficult for me and my sister because she also plays and she's a sophomore, but like she also wants to play in college. So what we do is like we practice track and gym, and when we have like a tournament, like a month before the tournament, we practice like route running or like drills by ourselves. And it's something difficult because we have to be like very disciplined. If not, like it's not gonna work.
Kind of growing up, you said you were always, kind of playing with the boys. You kind of figure out that was something that was kind of helping you, as your maturation of an athlete. What were some, maybe some idols growing up, maybe professional athletes, or maybe just some of the older boys you were playing with? What were some of the people that you kind of looked up to that were, role models as you were wanting to become a professional athlete?
Mm, some players I look up to, they play in the US flag football national team, and I have played with them like a couple of times. But do you want me to mention names?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
can go
shout
ahead.
the
Feel
names
free.
out. Let's go.
Okay. Her name is
Give them
Joe.
their love.
Her name is Joe Overstreet, and also Nadia Beeps. Like they're like the some of the players that I always look up to. Like when I was like since I started playing, and my mom used to like show me their videos, and I feel like that's why I wanted to continue playing. Because when I played with the boys and I saw other boys, I was like, well, yeah, I'm getting better and like playing, but that's not gonna do anything for me in the future. So like when I saw this women's like doing it, I feel like it made me wanna continue playing.
100%. Do you have a specific like favorite NFL team, or do you watch? I know you went to the game, but do you watch a certain NFL team?
Well, yeah, I like the Seahawks, but I don't really like know that much.
Okay, okay. Yeah, I was just wondering because I know like flag football and obviously normal football, like there is differences. Obviously, there's a ton of similarities, but the way the game operates as a whole, it definitely there are unique situations within it. So I was curious if you had a NFL team or not. But Seattle, Geno Smith he had quite a year this year. But yeah, so from a perspective when we talked about the sports aspect of it all and who you are as an athlete, but we open this question up kind of as a unique question for someone to kind of show their personality. What are some fun interests that you have outside of sports, or favorite hobbies that you like to be a part of, or even just fun things you like to do with friends and family?
Mm, I don't know. I don't really practice another sport other than flag football. But I don't know.
Don't know. There any like fun things you like to do like
Well, yeah,
outside of sports?
I like to go to the beach with my family.
Okay.
Yeah. But like I love flag football. That's all
So
I want
so
to do.
sports are pretty much your life.
Yeah, so
That's
Yeah.
let's keep it going. So I heard you're a wide receiver quarterback. Which one more do you like more, and which one are you better at?
Mm,
tough question.
There's two-parter here. It's a big one here. It's
yes,
important.
because it's like different things.
Yeah, but
Totally
just
totally
personally,
different.
let's be a little selfish here. Not
Because
team-wise, through your own eyes. What do you think you're better at, and which one do you like playing more?
it it depends. Like if there's another girl who can play QB, like it's fine if they play. I prefer playing receiver because I feel like
There
when
it
I
is.
play
There it
receiver,
is.
I get more highlights. And when
Yep,
I
there we
play
go.
QB, there's no highlights for just throwing the ball. So
I can attest to that. I know growing up I played wide receiver with football, and yeah, it's high action. It's you're getting the ball, you're able to make different cuts, route combinations. It's a fascinating position. But growing up, what do you think kind of led you to become those positions? I guess in a manner like obviously there's a variety of different positions out there. So do you feel like you just that was those were the positions that you just were stuck to right away, and have always had an arm to be a quarterback, or have always been able to adjust and make catches and run with the ball? How do you feel like you got those positions?
um when I started playing, I just like played every position because it was my first time. So like my coach wanted me to like see where I would like what position was the best for me. So I feel like playing QB was like the perfect position when I play with the boys because this way like I don't know, I've always had like a strong character. So I've so if I say something like in the huddle or whatever, I know that the coach knew they were gonna listen to me.
So your voice was heard, leadership. I like that.
But receiver, I don't know. I don't know how I started playing receiver.
Just kind of happened,
Yeah.
huh?
But like being QB, like it was so hard for me. Like it took my coach like 4 years to like to I don't know how to say it, like to make me like to have a good form or like technique.
Yep,
Yeah.
yep.
It took him like 4 years. So
Well, it definitely takes time to develop at certain positions. But a unique question, quick. What does it look like when you're so obviously with flag football? I'm completely unaware of how it completely operates. So, how long does it take to like understand a playbook, and what kind of dives into a playbook with playing quarterback position? How much do you really have to know with the flag football game? I guess I'm completely clueless when it comes to that.
it's not that complicated. Well, it depends what format it is. For example, most of the time I play 5-on-5, so it's easy. Like you just have to know the routes. But most of the time it's just like a drawing of the place, and they just call like the number or the name or whatever,
Okay,
and you can just see your route.
gotcha.
And it
That
can
makes
have
sense.
like letters or it's easy.
Is college 7-on-7 or is it five on
Yeah,
five?
7-on-7.
Okay, 7. That's what I thought because I knew that I was looking at it because I saw the national championship for NAIA last year was in Atlanta at the Mercedes-Benz Dome. That was kind of cool. But kind of going forward here, I'm just interested a little bit, not specifically where you're going to go to school, but do you kind of have an idea? Or are you paring it down a little bit? Do you have a list? Obviously, it sounds like Florida is kind of a place of interest for you where you'd like to go to school at Warner and Webster and a couple of the other schools down there, the NAIA schools. What are some of your options? What are you liking going forward? Not maybe a pick of a school if you're not ready yet, but just some schools you like.
I really like STU, St. Thomas.
Yeah, Miami Gardens. You can't go wrong with that.
And I also like Warner.
Yeah.
I like both of them. I liked all of the schools I visited, but like they are the only ones that have the major I want, or like something like really like related to it. So that's why those are my first options.
What are you looking to study?
Um,
Or you got an idea or a field?
yeah, I'm not sure yet if I want to be an athletic trainer or a sports medicine.
Yeah, good fields.
100%. I know it's just
I might be seeing you. I'm trying to grad transfer down there and become a coach at one of those schools. So I got a couple people that are from the Warner area actually. So I have to see you next year.
yeah, I
Are you in college?
Yeah, so I'm a college senior. This is my fourth year for baseball right now. I go to Central Methodist. It's a NAIA school in Missouri. So
Is it cold over there?
yeah, it's a little cold, but we're going to San Antonio this week. We got our first game this coming Friday coming up, so we're ready to get down to 70 degrees and get playing in some sunshine. It's been about today was a high of 28 degrees, so it was a little cold. It's a little
Yeah, I
cold.
hate the weather. That's why I want to go to Florida. They
We
have
got
like
I got a teammate from San Bernardino, and he's not liking this Missouri cold at all. Not at all.
yeah.
can't blame you. I mean, I'm the one that's in Wisconsin. I was in Illinois yesterday and over the weekend, 7 inches of snow and yeah, it's been a cold one the last couple days. So definitely, if you could stay warm, I highly recommend it because the cold is not fun, especially with snow. And but the last question I kind of want to ask you, we kind of do this with everyone, is just what is some advice that you have to someone in the youth? I know I kind of already asked you that question, but in a different manner. Uh, don't have to. It doesn't have to be an athlete. Just anyone in general that's out there and is chasing a dream. For example, like you wanting to be a college athlete. Uh, what is the advice you'd give to a young kid that's chasing a dream, and what is some advice that you give to Gannon and myself who want to continue to grow this podcast?
Mm, I would say like never give up and don't let anyone tell you you can't do like what you want to do. Like don't listen to negative comments or to people that are just like trying to bring you down. And to your podcast, I don't know. It's good. It's I like the questions.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You want me to? Yeah, you got anything else, Bryce?
If you got anything else, go ahead, Gannon. If not, you go
No,
ahead.
this was cool. It was really unique to have your story on here, kind of a groundbreaking one with us for his flag football player on here. It's just been really cool to hear your story and just get a different perspective. Kind of the stuff you're worrying about as you're getting older and being a leader. You're doing all the right things and saying all of it. So definitely you get your head on straight and just keep going. And it's a good time. It's an exciting time where you graduating coming up this summer and getting ready to go to your college and making your decision and all that. So just best of luck with that. We'll stay tuned in with you on social media and be looking forward to all your highlights coming up and your commitment coming up. So best luck to you and just good luck moving forward.
Yeah,
Thanks
thank
for
you.
and thanks for joining us.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, it's like to piggyback off what Gann said. It's special to have these type of interviews, especially one that has a college decision coming up. Someone who is battling for a spot at a college level, or someone that just has a dream. And it's even more special to have more and more of these female interviews. We want to be able to do that and get the women's side of sports. It's completely undercovered in my opinion, and I know Gannon agrees with that. There's a lot of stuff that we wish was more talked about within women's sports. So it's awesome to get a perspective like you to be able to come on here and shed light on why it's important, the great aspects of it, and all of that. So thank you once again for coming on here, taking the time out of your night. Hope you continue to kill it. We know you will. It's been special to hear your story. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Keep tapping in, and we will catch you soon.